Greetings and welcome to this introductory video about the KubeRocketCI Portal. In this video, we will take a first look at the updated KubeRocketCI 3.13 user interface and go through the basic navigation that you need before working with projects, pipelines, deployments, and platform integrations. This video is part of an updated KubeRocketCI video series that reflects the new UI, current terminology, and updated platform workflows. It is especially useful if you open the new KubeRocketCI Portal for the first time. We will cover the login options, the new main menu, namespace visibility, page level guidance, and the main portal sections. The first thing you see when opening the portal is the login screen. Depending on your platform configuration, you may have one or more login options. The first option is signing in with single sign-on. KubeRocketCI supports integration with identity providers. In this demo, we use Keycloak. When you click the sign in button, you are redirected to the Keycloak login page. After successful authentication, the portal opens automatically. The second option is token-based authentication. The Use Token option lets you sign in by pasting an access token from the configured or EDC provider. The Use Service Account Token option can be useful for service accounts or cases where a single sign-on option is not available. To use it, you need to create a service account, generate an access token, paste it into the token field, and sign in. You can find detailed step-by-step instructions for this authentication method in the Getting Started section of the documentation. Since this KubeRocketCI instance has no EDC provider configured, we will use the Sign In button. Now we're inside the portal. Starting with the updated UI, the portal opens the main menu instead of the overview page. The main menu is the starting point for working with KubeRocketCI. It gives you quick access to the most important platform actions and sections, such as creating a new project, configuring a deployment, opening integrations, or navigating to recently used resources. Before we start exploring the platform, it is important to check which namespaces are visible in the portal. In the main menu, click Manage Namespaces. The Namespaces dialog defines resource visibility through the portal. The default namespace is the namespace where new KubeRocketCI resources are created by default. Only one namespace can be selected as default at a time. Allowed namespaces define which namespaces the portal displays and where you can view or manage resources. Keep in mind that the portal doesn't grant additional Kubernetes permissions. It only shows and manages resources according to the permissions your user already has. If your user doesn't have access to a namespace, adding it to the allowed namespaces will not bypass that restriction. During the first login, the platform tries to set the default and allowed namespaces automatically. Usually, it uses the namespace where the KubeRocketCI is deployed. If this information is not available and Keycloak integration is configured, the portal can use Keycloak user attributes. If neither option is available, you need to set namespaces manually. The Get Kubeconfig button allows you to view the current kubeconfig file and its expiration time. You can also copy or download this kubeconfig file and use it locally. The User Details window shows Keycloak user information such as user profile, realm, and groups. The Kubernetes Details window displays useful info about Kubernetes cluster the platform runs on. Apart from account settings, the Profile button provides a few other useful actions, such as quick access to the KubeRocketCI documentation, GitHub issues, discussions, and signing out of the portal. Back in the main menu, you can also see a few blogs that help you get started. The Getting Started blog contains links to key portal areas you need to visit to set up your workflow. Quick Actions gives you shortcuts to the most common tasks, such as creating a project or opening frequently used sections. The platform dashboard shows a brief summary of recent pipeline runs. Clicking it takes you to the overview page. Now let's quickly go through the main sections of the KubeRocketCI portal. The overview section gives you a high-level view of the platform state. In the updated UI, this page has become more informative. It can show integration statuses, DORA metrics, Git activity, pipeline activity, and quick links to integrated tools. These links are useful when you need to jump directly to systems such as Git providers, CI/CD tools, artifact storage, quality tools, or documentation. The CI/CD pipeline section shows pipeline runs and pipeline-related resources. Here you can inspect pipeline execution history, open pipeline details, review logs, view available Tecton pipelines and tasks, and manage webhook trigger resources that connect external events with pipeline execution. In the updated UI, pipeline run history is presented as a unified view. If Tecton results integration is configured, pipeline run history and logs can remain available even after the original pipeline run is cleaned up from the cluster. The project section is where you manage source code-based entities in KubeRocketCI. In previous versions and in some technical resources, you may also see the term codebase. Starting with the updated terminology, the user-facing term is project. The Marketplace section moved to the Create New Project dialog. Now you can create application templates directly in the project section. Instead of creating everything manually, you can start from an existing template and adapt it to your needs. From this section, you can view projects available in the observed namespaces, manage their branches, and trigger build or review pipelines. The deployment section is used to manage the continuous delivery process for your applications. In previous versions, this concept was called deployment flow. In the current terminology, we use deployment. A deployment describes how selected applications are delivered through one or more environments. Each environment is linked to a Kubernetes namespace and can have its own deployment configuration, quality gates, and promotion rules. The Observability section provides metrics and trends for pipeline execution. Depending on your configuration, you can review success rates, average duration, historical trends, and other pipeline-related indicators. The Security section brings together vulnerability and compliance data. It can include container scanning, static application security testing, software composition analysis, and cluster compliance reports. These capabilities depend on third-party integrations such as Trivy, SonarQube, and Dependency Tracker. The Configuration section is the place where platform integrations are managed. Here you can configure required integrations, such as Git server or GitOps repository, and optional integrations depending on your platform setup. One more useful feature in the updated UI is the page guide. If you are not sure what a page is for, click the Page Guide button in the top right corner. The portal will show an interactive tour that explains the main elements of the current page. You can also pin frequently used resources to the sidebar. For example, if you often work with a specific project, environment, or configuration page, pinning it keeps it available from anywhere in the portal. All the sections we have just reviewed are focused on KubeRocketCI resources and workflows. The portal also provides access to Kubernetes resources. To view them, switch to Kubernetes Mode. Kubernetes Mode is a visual interface for working with cluster resources. Instead of using only kubectl commands in the terminal, you can inspect and manage common Kubernetes resources directly from the portal. Here you can view resources such as pods, deployments, config maps, secrets, services, and other Kubernetes objects. This mode is also useful when you need to work with custom resources, add or review labels, manage resources required for remote cluster deployment, or inspect operator-managed resources. To create a Kubernetes resource, use the Create a Resource button. It opens a form where you can paste or write a YAML manifest. In practice, this works as a UI alternative to running kubectl apply from the terminal. This was a quick overview of the KubeRocketCI Portal in version 3.13.5. We covered how to log in, how to use the main menu, how namespace visibility works, where to find platform-wide information, and how the main portal sections are organized. The most important terminology change to remember is that codebases are now referred to as projects in the user interface. The most important terminology change to remember is that codebases are now referred to as projects in the user interface, and deployment flows are now called deployments. In the next videos, we will use these sections in practice and look more closely at projects, pipelines, branches, deployments, and GitOps workflows. That's it for today. Thank you for watching.